Hey everybody, this is Galator from Galator's Gaming, giving you a RuneScape 3 or RuneScape video. Now keep in mind this guy could be done in old school RuneScape and RS3. This is basically a temple trekking guide or mini game. This is a guide to the game or the mini game called Temple Trekking. Now, what's temple trekking? Well, temple trekking is a mini game that goes through a series that you can only get access to through a series of quests. Now, the quests mentioned in order from start to finish to gain access to the minigame is Nature Spirit, In Search of the Marquee, In Aid of the Marquee, and In the Darkness of Hollowvale. You need to complete each one of these quests in order to gain access to this minigame. But you're probably wondering, James, or you're probably wondering, Galtor, why are you doing this guide for a minigame that's not really that useful, or why are you doing a guide for a minigame that's technically that most minigames in RS is kind of dead? Well, that's not the case. This is actually very useful because for both accounts, this gives you quite a bit of hefty rewards, and this gives you quite a bit of good amount of resources too for your skilling endeavors, and especially more harder to get or more valuable materials such as high-level herbs or logs for fletching and woodcutting, or logs for fletching and fire making. Now, currently I am doing this in RS3 because currently this is the part where I have access to, but this is going to be even impartial. This is going to be the best way to get some free resources and stuff for Ironman. So it is highly recommend doing this for Ironman because the rewards of doing this is worth it, especially when you don't have the fire making level yet you want to get the farming level. This can actually be done this way too, or if you need ore but you don't have the time to mine all that. So and this could be useful for both accounts, for both versions of old school RuneScape and RS3. And there's really no very huge variation. Now, the skill requirements I do at least recommend is having at least 50 attack and 50 strength. I have a little bit over that, but it's to make full use of this weapon, the Rod of Invitus, or Invitus. It's the only weapon that can actually It's one of the only weapons that can damage vampires. There's also weapons, but this one it's not as good as this one, or is not as good as the Rod of Invitus. Silverlight can be used, and the Silver Sickle, and I think the Silver Crossbow Bolts, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. And you will need some Druid pouches and some food. Alright, so now that I've talked to you about what the requirements are, or at least the maximum requirements, let's check this out. This is called Temple Trekking. The notice board, you have several little contracts. Each one has different characters you'll have to go with, and each one will level up. For example, Dean Velo, Gian Ran, or Gian Kalan, and these are the rewards. Once you have a character as NPCs with a sum total of 100, you can get the shortcut that'll instantly transport you from the Swamp Gates to the Nature Spirit Grotto. Skill items. It's the constructor set, which is going to be very useful. The constructor set is going to be very useful for for construction. It's all good, and the full set's going to give you a 5% gain. Coupled with the constructor's hammer and chisel, gives you another 5, or at least I think it's a 5%. Anyway, the 500 one is the teleport on the game's necklace. This is going to be very useful, for example, doing other more quests or barrows runs. And gas familiar, that's not really that useful, but it's a good thing to keep in mind. Alright. So you choose a contract, you get an NPC. You do want to give some food to the NPC. I typically just go for full inventory. So at least this way she has a way to heal herself. And the healing abilities go off the old school RuneScape method. Or the healing, or the way they level up goes to the old school RuneScape method, is that as long as they're attacking, they gain levels. So, that's something to keep in mind. And you're probably wondering, why am I doing this? Like, what's the point of doing this? Well, you actually get some pretty... not only will you get those rewards too, but you also get these things called tokens. These can be used, depending on the variation of the token, these can be used to gain even more rewards. Is what I was talking about, which is very useful for ironman. Click on Start Trek once you've given them proper amount of food. And each new NPC you start with starts at level 1. And there's several different paths. I'm going to go with the medium path because that's a good example of what you can get. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have to fight some shades. Now, the path or the variation is completely random. See? She just leveled up to 7. It's not going to take them long to level up quite well, because the old combat system is actually quite broken in terms of leveling for these characters. Now, you see, these NPCs don't use abilities, but they level up through the same means, which is strange, to be honest. So I'm just gonna let her get some levels, because it's probably the quickest way to level her up. But this is not, like, guaranteed that it'll be like this. It's always random. So, for example, you could have a path where you need to jump over a log, or make an alternate path to get to somewhere. That's basically how it goes. And they drop these remains, which I guess you can pick them up to get some resources, or like these can be used in a minigame, but I'm pretty sure you'll also have to do a quest for that too. It's a pretty effective old school method too. So for those who want rewards, it's just something you can do. And I like using the halberd because I can attack while I'm behind her. So, I will admit I haven't been doing videos lately because it's not because I had to do a lot of editing around it. I've already done the editing on several of my videos. What else should I talk about? I mean, I have not really been doing much videos of lately because I've been mainly focusing on improving my life and whatnot, because it's been I wouldn't say it's been difficult, because it's just been something new, because I have had all that, I had to do with all that work stuff. Ooh, we got snakes! We can get their hides. So just so you know, I'll most likely edit out a good chunk of this if I could. I just need to figure out how to do that. Keep in mind, I'm not the best when it comes to that. God. You see, even now I'm having a hard time facing these damn things. Snake skins. So, you can even kill these things and get their snake skins, which is just a means to level up your crafting. Or to make some better range gear. This build, like, this thing is, like, this minigame is perfect for Iron Man because it gives you many of the resources that, for Iron Man, it's hard to get. For you, it may not be so hard because you can just buy it off the GE, but the Iron Man can't use the GE, so normally you would think that steel sword's not that good or not that impressive, but for Iron Man it's pretty impressive because they have to go through it the harder means. Oh my god, die, snake! Sniggly, slithery little snake. I kill you. I kill you, you slithery little snake. Make some inventory space. What? Snake hide. You know, she actually reminds me of, her name actually is the exact same name of my niece. Well, not my niece, my cousin, or, I guess she would be my cousin. Like, she's like my, you know what, I'm not even going to bother trying to explain it, because I really don't know the path of what family members they're on. Oh. Ghasts, of course. Oh, she also has pouches. Now, these ghasts are weak to magic, but they're not that tough. They're just level 62 or 63, but for Iron Man, I guess that can be difficult or dangerous. Kill you, Mr. Ghast. Alright, looks like I have dropped iron ore. Noted. Let's see how much. Just one? Well, these guys are not that tough, so may as well just pick it up, you know? Alright, prayer potion. There's one more ghast, and that's it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Die ghast. Haha, I guess you could say I was aghast. That was terrible. 10 out of 10 would not do that again. 10 out of 10 would not recommend to IGN. What? I got a token? Oh, it's been deposited to my bank. Alright, so now that we've done this, like, you can even do this you can even do the minigame back to Bergenrod with this board, too. I mean, it's just different characters, though. But it's just a nice little thing to keep in mind. Alright, so token. Oh, here it is. Alright, so you get, in the end of each round, or each journey, you get like a little token. This is a medium token, or yellow is, blue is the lowest, yellow is the medium, and red is the highest. Now, you can click on herbs, which gives you low-level herbs, like guam and torum. Medium, yellow is medium, red is high level. And there's bars, like this will give you silver bars for, you know, your crafters out there. This will give you bowstrings, This will give you pure essence, and it's not like just a few, like one or two. It's like quite a bit. And this will even give you sharks and seeds and ores, or you can just choose straight up experience. Now keep in mind this will give you random experience, so it's not guaranteed to be one particular type, so it's a little unfortunate. But that's basically it. So if you think this video was remotely entertaining, and if you find this video very informative, be sure to like and subscribe and share with a friend. This is Galator's Gaming signing off.